Hey, hello scrappers. Today's Sunday, March 1st, and thought I'd just kind of go through some of my miscellaneous. I had a couple buckets and a metal tub and stuff, just a bunch of little stuff thrown in it, and every time I had to get something on the wall I had to kind of step over it, or it's kind of in the way, so I had the shopping cart outside. I thought I might as well bring it in the shop and put it to use. Doesn't have a rack on the bottom, so I'll probably have to get me an oven rack or something and kind of cut it and zip tie it to the bottom. That way I can put some stuff up underneath. Yeah, I got like these timers out of a wash machine in here. Little wigwags, I guess you call them. Circuit boards. There's far off the cook stove with a little bit of brass there. Looks like a fan motor out of a car. Got these little spotlights here, floodlights. These were pretty good back in the day. They're like 300 watts, and man, they run up your electric bill quick. But kind of obsolete now with our LEDs. And when you buy the replacement bulbs for them, they're almost as much as the light itself. I think you can get the single light for about 10 bucks wherever your tools are sold. I've had a couple of questions from viewers. One was my gloves, where I get them. Well, I get them at Walmart. Usually get 5 in a pair. Usually they're these gray ones. And but lately they've been throwing 2 or 3 pairs of gray and a couple pairs of these blue ones. Kind of a rubber coat on the palm, cloth on the back. And they're usually 5 pair for 5 bucks. Back in the men's workwear, over kind of by where they got the Dickie work clothes and stuff like that. And another question, they wanted to see my mount for my angle grinder. I'll see if I can zoom in on that a little bit. I'm not exactly sure where I got that mount. As you can see, where I mounted it here, I had to put a 2x4 on here so I could just run a couple screws straight down to hold it in place, and that just sits right over it. But one of my videos where I tore down a dryer, this thing's so tight, I was showing this piece here, and it's a bracket that holds one end of the motor, has a 1/2 inch bolt that goes through, and well, I'll lean this over a little bit. You can see I've got one bolted to the workbench there for if I have to pull the workbench away from the wall or something to work on something I can. But a lot of times what I'll do, I'll cut this piece off right here because it sticks down, so you can just get your angle grinder or whatever and just cut that piece off, Sawzall. And then you got one hole there, which you can always drill a couple more holes. But you can see getting used to this. That just sits right down in there pretty nice. You can kind of see it on both sides. So that'll hold the angle grinder nice and solid. And that just comes out of your dryers if you tear down in there, pull the motor out. Even if you just want to junk the motor, or throw the motor back into shreds, that bracket comes in handy. So it's just a way to reuse some of the parts you get. So pretty much wherever I have the angle grinder, I try to have something like that set up. See if I can zoom in here on my workbench. You got some of these little things that just hold the wires in on some of your stuff. I just hold my little pin, my little screwdriver, my little pry bar, and I get this little Stanley prying deal. I just got it. I've got another one there if I need it, and This little thing here is just a piece of pipe, and I drilled holes in both sides, and I drilled a bigger hole on this side where I can get in there with a screw, and that's where I stick my air chisel, which you can almost stick your drill in there if you need to. Yeah, that'll work too, but stay pretty secure. That comes in handy, which, you know, I put it at a little angle. Yeah, just little brackets and stuff like that. Of course magnets always come in handy. One problem I have is I can take a 5-foot, 6-foot workbench, start tearing something down, and I get so many tools after 3 or 4 items. I got so many tools spread out on that workbench, I don't have room to work. So probably one advantage of having this little workspace is I don't clutter it with tools. But I've got this other little bracket here. Yeah, I don't know if I can, what'll happen when I unplug this monitor. But I've got this other bracket here on the wall. This is actually for like a salt block. You get it at the feed store. And it's got a nice little pocket in it. It's got a few holes in the bottom, so I just keep various things in there. You know, my little torque, channel locks. I guess I'll find out what happens. Hopefully I don't lose video when I plug this monitor back in. We shall find out. Yeah, stuff popped up on there. Sorry about that anyway. But I'm just going to try to tear down a few oddball things. Wanted to answer those couple questions real quick though. Kind of what this channel is all about is showing, you know, tips and tricks on how I tear stuff down, and hopefully it'll give you some good tips and tricks. Some of my subscribers have mentioned how they've been scrapping for years, and some of the tools I use or methods I use they've never thought of, and it's helped them out. So, and then I've picked up a lot of tips and tricks from other subscribers too, that people I watch. Well, I had that on forward and I just stripped that out. One screw in there holding it, and I went the wrong way and now it's stripped. Yeah, sometimes I find out too with some of this stuff. I guess I can pan up a little bit. Maybe zoom in here. One thing I've kind of learned by watching some of this analytics on YouTube is about half of my viewers are watching on a cell phone. I got this one screw in there to get this little motor out. I'm not sure how I'm going to tear that motor down, but I just kind of started a bucket of copper bearing motors and other copper related items to work on all at once. That's another thing, that little thing I try to do is, of course, depends on how many buckets you can get. But I have a few black buckets, and I try to use those for all my items that are dirty and need further cleaning. I may have been able to get the angle grinder in there, I don't know. I know I could have hooked up my air and got the die grinder in there. Yeah, I'll probably just cut this bolt for the screw. It's just about out. Yeah, I don't know how my ads are going to work this month. It's still kind of early in the year, but the weather we're having right now, been up in like the 70s. I think 70 yesterday, and it's going to be up in there today, if it's not already there. Okay, this is definitely, well, it's a copper bearing, but I got screws sticking to the thing, so apparently it's a brushless motor, magnetic. So one of those is probably not really worth even tearing apart, because you're going to have, well, I don't know, you could, I guess, if you want to clean it up a little bit, but you're going to have your magnets on the sides, and then you just got your I don't remember what that thing's called down the center, but anyway, I'll got a bucket up here for copper bearing motors. I'll just throw that in there. These lights are always kind of fun. Not really, but not bad. It takes some time. Yeah, this one wanting to strip. So it's just that knob in there. If that knob will break loose off the screw, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it wants to. Yeah, pretty windy out there today. Took a short video yesterday of a load I brought in. Wasn't really a whole lot. It was a Cub Cadet riding mower, some metal baskets, just a little bit of tin. But not really enough on there to upload it just yet. What I'll do when I start getting some calls here off that ad, I'll try to join 3 or 4 of the videos together into one video. I might take the whole week's worth and just one video a week on just stuff I brought in, and then maybe do one video a week on stuff I'm tearing down. Now, these little bolts, you can hang on to those if you make do little projects and make stuff out of the stuff you bring in. If not, just throw in the tin bucket. This little bracket here is tin. It was a magnetic dart. I don't know where I got that, but I brought one in years ago and used it for a long time, then lost it, and then found some more somewhere. Pretty handy, pretty strong magnet on them little things. I'm sure you could probably find them on eBay or something, a magnetic dart set. Probably may not be too cheap. Okay, I got a screw there. Let's see if I can buzz them out with the drill. Yeah, it's got a wing nut on the back. Everything is so rusty. This thing's been outside for 2-3 years. I might try to break it loose with the hand, the screwdriver. No, that's not even wanting to work. Spray a little WD on it. After I get this video uploaded, I need to go out and finish unloading my truck. Scheduled a vacation day for tomorrow. Supposed to take my wife in for a doctor appointment. Man, that's tight. Man, that thing just does not want to break loose. Well, do it this way. the other one too, but let's see where we can go with this first. There's water inside these things. It's got a plate of glass here. Usually squeeze these together. Okay, I don't want to come out that way either. Come in this. Okay, now that should be aluminum once I get those other two clips off. That's a piece of tin. As shiny as those are, I'll have to check them on the grinder, but they might, those two little clips right there might be stainless. Okay, I'll walk over to the angle grinder real quick and check this. Yep. It's throwing sparks, so yeah, it's stainless. Magnet didn't stick. That is definitely aluminum. So, cast aluminum. Throw that in my bucket. The light is definitely fried. Get a screw right in the back. Not having much luck on these things with the powered screwdriver, so I'm just going to do this by hand. Everything's wanting to strip with it. Got one screw holding the reflector. And that's probably very thin aluminum. So I'll throw that in with sheet aluminum. It's almost like aluminum foil, but a little bit thicker. Yeah, we got a little piece down here. It's got two screws on the very bottom that are nice and wet. Yep. Okay, that one's turning a little bit. Maybe I've turned a quarter turn. I think I'll end this video before I do the second one. I think we're already 20 minutes long. Okay, it's turning with the Phillips. That's good. I didn't want to leave any metal in there, any ferrous metal. The housing is cast aluminum. Should I try it? This was your switch right here, turn it on and off. So, nice little wire nuts if you need wire nuts. Sometimes they're good to save some of those, but I don't know if I got any real little ones like that, so I'll have to check. Now, I'd have to get my own meter out to check that switch, but that might be worth hanging on to, I don't know. One of the things, I got a solar panel I bought years and years ago, little small one, probably 10 watt or something like that. So I'm thinking about if I get some laptop batteries, usually they have 18650s in there, or some of the power tool batteries. These usually have, you know, these lithium ones I have the 18650s in them too. So if I get some of those, if I fix them up out scrapping, I might try to build a little battery bank for them. Yeah, since that's got the ferrous metal on there, yeah, I don't see any copper or anything on it. I guess I could cut the wires off and throw in my bucket of short wire. I get a bunch of 5-gallon bucket over here, almost full of just little short pieces of wire that I feel are too short to really mess with for stripping them. Okay, since I couldn't get that bolt out the one way, I'm going to try to, I just cut it off pretty much flush there. If this doesn't work, I'll just cut into the aluminum and yeah, it's unscrewing. Okay. Now if that wouldn't have cut off, I would have just tried to cut right across here. So now it's clean cast aluminum. So I didn't cut this yet because I was going to try to see if it would unscrew or not. That one's turning. Just sprayed some WD-40 on it. I got a gallon of breakaway that I picked up at an auction, which for anybody that hadn't thought about it, sometimes you can go to your local miscellaneous auctions and you might find some good deals on junk nobody wants to bid on. You might get it for $1 or something. It might be worth tearing down. If you get to know the people that run the auction, let them know you pick up scrap metal. They may have stuff that doesn't sell, and they'll let you haul it off for them. So. These aren't really too bad for tearing down. This would be probably a whole lot easier if it hadn't sat outside for so many years. So I'll probably, don't know how much time I'll have once that ad starts getting busy, but at this time we're doing good. People might wait till tomorrow, since tomorrow's Monday, to start calling. And sometimes that ad comes out and it doesn't do anything for about a week, and then all of a sudden everybody starts calling. Sometimes the first day it comes out, I just got a yellow pad. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with this load here, there. Try to stay on top of it. Sometimes I'll have a lot of stuff and I'll say, okay, or they'll be 30, 40 miles out, and I'll say, okay, you know, they got a lot of stuff. I say, well, there's no way I'm going to drive that far after work and pick up that amount of stuff before it gets dark. Good thing is, in about a week we go on daylight saving time, so we'll have a little more daylight in the evening. It'll be about 8 o'clock before it gets dark. I try to have everything wrapped up around 7, but sometimes if I go out and pick stuff up, I might get back around 7, then I still got to get my truck unloaded for the get to work the next day. One thing I want to try when I retire is I've got OEC Electric, that's what I run my ad through, but I think on the first or second Tuesday of every month they have an auction of different stuff, sometimes vehicles, but usually it's a lot of their stuff. So I'm just wondering, you know, how much. You know, it's an electric company, so how much stuff do they have that's possibly copper wire? You know, and does it go cheap enough to where a scrapper can make money on it? You know, yeah, somebody's going to use the wire, they can probably get a good deal, but you got to get it pretty cheaper to make money scrapping it. So that's just something kind of thinking about. But I got to get retired where I have the time to do it first. Anyway, there's not a lot of weight there, and aluminum doesn't pay much, but it is what it is. I might video some more of this stuff. There's a lot there. Probably several hours worth of time right in that basket there. Yeah. I need to get some good silicone spray or something to go through this tripod, because it's kind of jerky the way it moves. But I think I'll call it quits. It's been probably about 25 minutes now. So if you liked what you saw, please subscribe, like, share. Hit that little notification bell. I'll pan up here so you can get a shot at my ugly mug. So I think that'll be about it for this video. So keep living the life, folks. Have fun scrapping. Bye-bye.